What is up, everyone? It's Skill Up here with another Division video. Today it is our weekly Should I Buy It? A look at what are the vendors selling, should you buy it, and if you do buy it, how do you mod it? I do these videos every single week without fail at this time, so if you like this sort of stuff, then be sure to subscribe, and if you like this video, drop a like on it, and with that, let's get straight into what's available in the base of operations. At the special equipment vendor upstairs, we have a pretty uninspired selection. We've got the Historian, same as always, a military M870 with destructive, restored, and stable, nothing remarkable there. A tactical MK16, which is an assault rifle, not a particularly good one. It's got adept, swift, and commanding, nothing there to look at. And finally, a tactical Super 90 SBS with sustained, commanding, and deadly. Again, nothing here that I would recommend. So let's head downstairs and see what is available at the terminal. At the other special equipment vendor downstairs, we have a 5.86 Magnum with expert and destructive. Wouldn't recommend this one because you don't really want destructive on a pistol. We've got a surprisingly good police M4 with dominant, self-preserved, and fierce. So self-preserved and fierce are really good and actually synergize really well together because obviously self-preserved needs lots of crit. Dominant, you would of course roll that one away. It's a really very substandard talent. It's a 204 item, but you know, depending on the damage roll on it, you know, you could do quite well out of this one, and I'd probably recommend checking it out. It could be quite decent as an actual upgrade for you if you've got a, you know, your assault rifle isn't particularly great, or of course as an alpha bridge item, work really well with an alpha bridge set. So long as you roll that dominant away. So not a bad pick there if you're interested. And then we've got this M1911 with expert and vicious. Again, don't really want DPS talents on a pistol unless it's an X45, because the X45s really do shred. The special blueprints vendor downstairs today is selling a performance mod. You'll see it here as I'm scrolling down. There it is, performance gear mod. It's a level 32 item. Not particularly exciting. We are generally still not using performance gear mods, even though they were recently buffed. So probably recommend giving that one a pass. Downstairs in the underground, we actually have some really interesting stuff going on this week. First up, we have the military G36. It's the 229 rank 40 item. It's got destructive, fierce, and focus. So a few things to say about this one. Destructive is pretty good. We like it. It's a good one. It synergizes really well with the assault rifle because since it's an enemy armor damage, it's a PvE focused weapon. So that's a tick. Focused is something that we've spoken about in the past. You generally want to roll this away because you want to be using your abilities more often than not. However, it's a bit of a nice to have, particularly if you're running a firearms focused build and you're letting your team members use their abilities on cooldown. Fierce is one that I would recommend rolling away in this instance, purely because of the electronics requirements. 2260, almost no one goes that high on their electronics. If they go high on skill power, it's because of their backpack and their mask, where they roll actual skill power on those, not because they're stacking lots of electronics. So yeah, I'd actually recommend this weapon to you, and I'd recommend rolling away fierce because it's actually quite decent. So yeah, not a bad pick, that one. Surplus SVD, it's got Provident, Sustained, and Decisive. Provident, not great on an SVD. It's got a fairly large magazine, and it's just a bit of an average talent anyway. Sustained actually doesn't heal you, it just increases your health so that you can then take more heals after that. So not a particularly exciting talent. And Decisive, we've spoken about, not great. It does require you to get a killing blow, and it only gives you 1 crit the next time you fire. Not particularly useful on an SVD, given its very low base damage. It's really about sustained rate of fire, the SVD, more than it is about big hits and big crits like an M44. This military G36 here has self-preserved, sustained, and focused. Not a bad sort of sustain / healing weapon. If you were looking at doing some sort of alpha bridge build, which was really focused upon like life leech, so to speak, could be a bit of a good pick there, but probably wouldn't recommend it, to be honest with you. Nothing spectacular. This last G36 though, with accurate, brutal, and focused, is awesome. Like, it is super good. And for a, obviously this is an alpha bridge thing because it's a 163 item. You'd roll away that focused and just get like whatever you want in that last slot, you know, deadly for instance. Fantastic item. Really love this one. So yeah, don't pass this one up if I were you. I would really recommend it, especially if you're looking at building an alpha bridge set. In fact, only if you're looking at building an alpha bridge set, really, or if you're looking to gear up, because it's just a fantastic, really well rolled item. This week at the DZ3 vendor, sadly, we have like a glimmer of a hope, but if you really look into the detail, it's a little bit disappointing at the end of the day. So let's go through it. Officers M9A1, expert and vicious, nothing exciting there. Custom M44, trained and unforgiving, and deadly, sorry, nothing exciting there either. We've got military M60E4 with balance, restored and accurate, nothing exciting there. A custom M870 MCS with predatory, destructive and meticulous. I wouldn't recommend this one. M870 is obviously very strong, but I think you can do better on the rolls. Nothing particularly synergizes well there. It's just sort of like, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'd probably give that one a miss. Now this Tactical Vector 45 ACP, it's kind of like, could be so great, but it's just not, sadly. First of all, we need to talk about what the Vector is. The Vector right now, since it took its nerf, is still a decent weapon, but there are a lot of other SMGs that are significantly better than it, particularly the MP7 if you're looking at PvPing, and the PP19 if you are looking at PvEing. If you're PvE focused, the PP19 is by far and away the best SMG. I would absolutely recommend that over anything else at the moment if SMG is your flavor. Now, with regards to the talents, stable, I've done a video on this. It's stable brings you almost nothing. It's like indistinguishable how little benefit it provides, even though it says 48% improved stability. It's absolutely not that. It's closer to say like 15% total benefit. So very quite deceptive in terms of its the benefit it's advertising. Don't look at stable as a good talent. Look at it as something that you should re-roll. Fierce, we've already spoken about. 2260 electronics really pushes this out of you know, achievable status for most people. And finally, deadly works really well in terms of, you know, it's crit hit damage. It's nice, but what you really need on an SMG is crit chance, because, you know, you've already got crit hit damage there, and you need more crit chance to unlock the value of that baked in critical hit damage. So on paper, it's like this is so close to being a great weapon, but the reality is it's just not. So unfortunately, I would recommend giving this a miss. It is not worth the purchase. In terms of the blueprints, we've got an MP5 ST, which is an SMG and not a particularly good one. The MP5 does okay, but most of the other SMGs will do better than it in most conditions, so I'd probably recommend giving that a miss. And then we've already spoken the First Wave Vector 45 ACP, which is you know, just a variant on this one up here, and you know, the Vector right now isn't in the best spot, and other SMGs will do a better job. So that is DZ3. Sadly, could have been so great, so close, but not quite there. The gear mod vendor in DZ4 this week is selling the sort of big ticket items of stamina gear mod and the firearms gear mod, so you can go and pick those up if you haven't got those already. And finally, at the Darkzone weapon mod vendor, we have a decent selection this week. We've got a C79 scope, which has accuracy and critical hit chance on it, which is a nice purchase, so I'd recommend that one if you need something like that. We've got an angled grip with stability and accuracy, which is also quite decent as well. I actually use one or two purple mods on my gear just because they're so perfectly rolled, so don't look past that one if you need that combination. It works quite well. We've got an extended magazine blueprint, which is the real bread and butter of most weapon mods. It's magazine size plus a random bonus. And we have a quick release magazine, which is reload speed and random bonus. I wouldn't recommend that. You don't want a mod for reload speed. The benefit is just way too small compared to the other mod options. And as always, we have the rugged mini reflex sight blueprint and the PQ15 laser. Alright, so let's take a look now at how to mod this G36 that we might have purchased. I picked it up myself, really good purchase. It's accurate, brutal, and I've re-rolled focus for skill, which I'm actually quite happy with. Yeah, so how do we mod this thing? So let's firstly fire it naked with no mods, and we'll just get a sense for how the weapon fires. As you can see, I pull the trigger and it pulls straight up. It really doesn't pull left or right very much at all, which is a good starting point to help us understand how we need to mod it. So if I open up the mod menu, we'll see here that in the optical slot, because this thing has accuracy baked into it as one of its talents, I don't really need to put accuracy on it. I otherwise would need to put accuracy on a G36 because the accuracy of it was nerfed and they actually do have a decent amount of reticle bloom. But in this instance, I'd really just be shooting for headshot damage and critical hit chance more than I would for accuracy. So I'm gonna whack that bad boy on there. Bad luck L86. And that's step one, done. So what about our magazine size? So the magazine size on a G36 is actually fairly small, so I would absolutely be going for magazine size on that one as a base. Now, in terms of the second one, weapon damage versus rate of fire is always a tough choice. Now, you're going to see here that the rate of fire will give me more damage, but it will also make the weapon harder to handle. And the G36 does have a little bit of kick to it, like any other, assault rifle. LMGs, for instance, become more stable and more accurate over time, and SMGs have very, very low recoil. They're quite stable weapons. So for that reason, I really recommend rate of fire on those other weapons. But on a G36, I would actually always recommend going with weapon damage. It'll be less damage, less burst damage in particular. However, you will be able to manage the weapon more easily, and I think that's overall better for a G36. In terms of stability, our major concern here is the horizontal stability, which is the way it pulls up and down, right? But there's not really a lot of other options that are available on the slot, as in, like, instead of going for horizontal stability, you might want to go for hip fire accuracy, except no, you absolutely wouldn't. That's ridiculous. You're not going to mod for hip fire accuracy, unless perhaps you're doing heaps of PvP and you feel like you want to hip fire your G36 that way, cool, but I think the benefit provided from that is so small anyway, you're better off just going with horizontal stability, and it's going to make your life that little bit easier. Finally, in the last slot there, again, we don't really need much more accuracy on this thing. It's very, very accurate. So what I'm going to be going for is more stability and more critical hit chance. Critical hit damage, I probably don't want to go for. I probably want to just increase my base crit chance at this point, unless I know I'm going to be running with someone that's going to give me a maxed out pulse, at which point I need to be really careful about how much crit I'm bringing to the table. So I'm putting that one on there now. Is that on? Yes, it is. Cool. Oh, no, it's not. And skin, very important. I always go for the Tauntate Red. It looks amazing, makes it look like super good advice. So that is how I would mod my weapon. And if we fire this thing now, you get a sense for how it will fire. I'm not going to adjust for the aim. You just see I'm not adjusting for anything right now. Pulling the trigger, pulling it back, and it pulls back really slowly. Very accurate weapon. And if I try and maintain my reticle over the target, you'll see how I perform there. So there is some reticle spread at the end. That's a given. But I'll just show you, even if we maxed out accuracy on this thing, right? We've just stacked accuracy to the 9s on the mods, on the optical slots, and we put it on the muzzle as well. You'll see how much it really doesn't make that much of a difference to the performance of the weapon. You'll see here and there. So you see how it's still spreading out in the same sort of way, right? It's not quite as big, but it's pretty much there. Not a huge difference. So I personally would be going for that extra damage from critical hit chance than I would be for the accuracy, because I just don't think you're going to get that much more benefit out of it by modding it for even more accuracy. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's Should I Buy It for the week and how to mod this very nice G36. I hope you liked this. If you did, drop it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, you can subscribe now for end-to-end division coverage. The Mashup guys are coming back this week from holidays. They're going to start hyping up Survival. I cannot wait for that. Survival is not scheduled, but I think it's going to drop around September time. That's sort of what all the indications are at this point. So that's soon. Very soon, in fact. Looking forward to that. So stick around for full end-to-end coverage of that. Thanks very much for watching this video, guys. Take good care, and I'll see you in the Darkzone. Bye-bye.